Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, December 28th. We're looking at the last day today of the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. Incredibly quiet day. Incredibly quiet day. Good news. We gap higher on the weekly, daily, and hold it. Good news, we hit another all-time high. Again, I'm not recognizing that bad print. So we hit a new all-time high, and we took out the overnight all-time high for now. Bad news, volume horrendous, 34 million right now. Again, we can continue to grind up higher, but for the long-term health of this market, you would like to see the bigger boys get involved and its volume push up. Russell, pretty disappointing finish to the day. They gap higher, have an open and drive down, never see the opening again. End up with a trend day down. We have single prints in L and a price probe. We almost took out Thursday's low and had a chance for an outside day down. Now, they didn't get it, but just look, the market's tired. I get it. I mean, they keep hitting new highs and everything else. It's just interesting when you make new highs on a gap, a weekly gap and everything else, not only to give it up, but then to trend down and go out with a price probe to the downside. That's all. So that's the Russell. Triple Qs held their gap. Actually had a trend day up since F for a while. It looks like they might have filled the singles. If they didn't, there might be only one or two ticks left. They go out with a P shape, even though it's the B's the stem. I like the A. And then also, I remember I said, by the way, again, when the triple Qs were like $4 below their all-time high and the NASDAQ composite made an all-time high, I said that's going to change. And it certainly did, as they both hit it today. SPY, P-shape, ES, P-shape. So, again, we gapped higher. We basically drove straight down, took out some weak inventory longs, and then never saw the opening again. Now, even though we didn't see the opening again, how much did buyers get? I mean, they got something, but not a lot throughout the day. I had a very quiet day. As far as my trades go, I didn't do anything in A. Why? Because initially I said I wanted to see A rally and test the overnight high and the all-time high to take a put play. Never happened. Went straight down. And then I also said I wanted better risk-reward on a long. Well, these gaps were still pretty big. So I didn't get to a point where I wanted to buy it. I took a small short in B. When we got to the overnight high, I lost pennies on it. It wasn't doing anything. I took it off, lost pennies on it. Then I took a long in D period. And those were the 373 puts. I'm trading Thursday's expiration, the 31st. So those were the 373 puts. I went long in D on the 371 calls when we pulled back, seeing if we were going to hold the open. Actually, I took it before we took out C's low. We were one time framing up. We had the singles. Even though it filled it, I'm like, you know what? Let me see what happens here. It wasn't a lot. Before we even took out C's low, I had bought 20 of them. I took some off at B's high. I held on to the ones down here, went back up. I made money on the trade, but nothing big. And then I didn't do anything until J. Took a short in J, held on to them through J, K, L. L took out K's low a little bit, didn't do anything. I finally took them off, made small on them, and this is where my patience, I need to work on my patience. Even though it was small, I said to the room, what I should be doing is possibly adding if we finally break. And why did I say that? Because look, the market got long, right? We flushed out weak longs, then the market got long in B and C, flushed out. And then what happened? G, H, I, J, K, and L, what did the market do? It just got long again. And the only reason they were hanging around up there is because the single prints were holding. And then once the single prints finally filled, they flush out. Some shorts pile on. That's all. So I made some money on that short, nothing big. I did 3 trades on the day. I made on 2 of them, made small on the day. If I had patience, if I had added a 20 lot or 30 lot when L finally broke, it would have been a decent day if I held them down to M's low. Didn't do it. That's okay. All right. Destinations for tomorrow. There's one and only one on the upside. 372.59, which is today's high and all-time high. For the downside, again, we don't have anything to lean on except today's low and high. We're only 8 wide. I don't use that. I mean, not that I'll ignore it tomorrow, which is H's low, but I'm not writing it down. So 371.07. Remember, we have 2 gaps. 371.07, today's low, and then fill in the weekly gap at 369.62. It's a 147-point gap still. So that's still fairly large. And then 371.07, again, today's low, and then 369.03, Thursday's low. I'm sorry, Thursday's high. 204-point gap from the 28th. Now, below that, we have 369.06. In fact, that's inside of that gap, the daily gap. That's 10 wide from the 23rd. Then we don't have anything to 368.72, which I use as the price spike also from the 24th. And then on the charts, 3 days to go in the trading year. Monthly, one-time framing up out of an inside month, healthy. Weekly. Now, all we did is stretch this 4-week balance as far as I'm concerned. Yes, the gap is holding, but it's only 1 day. We stretched the all-time high by 13 cents. I'm not going to just say we're up. So we're still in balance. And the daily, same thing. Yes, we have a gap. Yes, we're one-time framing up 3 days. But all we did is stretch an 18-day balance 13 cents and close below it. Now, if we had closed above it, even if we closed above it small, I might have given the daily the benefit of the doubt and called it up. But the fact that we closed inside of the balance, to me, it's a 19-day balance. I mean, remember, last Monday we stretched the balance by $1 and snapped into it. So it was balance. I didn't call it down. It was balance. Well, same thing on the upside. Until we start getting some acceptance either below this balance or above it, it's balance. So it's a 19-day balance right now. I would have expected a little more volume and tempo today. It was horrendous. I'm hoping this isn't what we see. I'm hoping maybe because Christmas was on a Friday, some people took off Thursday, some took off today. Maybe as we get closer to the end of the year, it gets a little busier. I certainly hope so. I hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening